session number 8,974 million.
Yeah, how many are we doing tonight?
Oh, well, we just keep going here. Hey, Mark, I've got more questions. I don't know if you want to delve into any of these or not, but...
Are we recording already?
Yes, we are recording already. Do you
Red
not
lights are
know?
on. I guess that
Can
means
you
we're
not tell?
recording. Well, you know, you see the cameramen and they're just kind of sitting there lottie-don around, you know, and it's like, because they don't have their hands on the, you know, it's like, okay. They know their job, don't they? I mean,
Yeah,
you know,
they have the
our
headphones
cameramen
on.
could do it blindfolded.
Oh,
They,
yeah,
they could do it
gotcha.
automatic. They
Yeah.
don't even need to have
They
their
don't even
hands
need
on
us.
the, yeah, so.
How long are spices good to keep before I need to throw them away?
Depends on the spice.
Does it depend on the storage of where you keep it to?
There's a rule of thumb that's 2 years.
Okay.
Heat really affects spices, and then light.
Okay.
The better spices are the ones in the darker containers. If you have it in a clear container and the light can get to it, that makes them grow old fast. Usually with spices, they're just going to lose their power. So a couple years later, you might just need to add twice as much spice to get the flavor out of it.
Is? Okay.
But then you'll get some that'll taste chalky. Mm-hmm. They'll taste, you know, bitter. You know, they kind of lose that. Other spices will start getting sticky. You know, if they got a high oil content, they'll get sticky, and then you know they're done.
Do you get more shelf life if you freeze them? Does it matter? Are you still 2 years?
I've never done the freezing with them.
I have.
You know, I had a spice company in Vegas for years, and we just go through so many spices. We're going through by the pallets. You know.
I was going to say I don't have a problem with spices because we use them too often. Also, what is its best spices to use in potato dishes? That was a two-part question.
Potato dishes, best spices. I like my onion and garlic for sure. Of course, the paprikas, salt. You know, smoke flavorings work real good. If you want savory, hit the savory with the
I
herbs.
use nutritional yeast flakes a lot of times, give it a cheesy flavor.
Yeah, I think it depends. If you want savory, you know, hit the savory spices. If you want spicy, hit the peppers, hit the spicy ones. Sweet, you can even do sweet. You know, so it all depends what you're looking for.
Okay, all right.
Potato's one of those things that I think you could spice it any way, and you probably won't go wrong.
You can't ruin it. Well, I don't know. I don't like garlic on my potatoes. Did you know that?
Should we try some curry potatoes? See, that would work.
I like cream potatoes.
Yeah.
What is a good way to make tofu that actually tastes good?
Well, this is somebody who has never enjoyed tofu.
Not the way we make it, evidently, because we make good tofu.
Tofu will take on whatever flavor you
Sweet or savory,
give it.
anything you give it.
One of the best things you can do is press the tofu. We've talked about that, where you just have a strainer, you put the tofu in there and put a plate on it and then a 10-pound weight and just press the juice out of it. Okay. And then you can marinate it and it will suck up the juice from whatever you're marinating it in. So that's a good way to get a lot of flavor. Of course, our tofu eggs, we've done that many, many times.
Do that all the time. I love scrambled tofu.
Blended tofus, you're getting sauces, so you can go sweet, you can go...
Do you remember the time you did your first chicken fried steak when we had the camp meeting?
Yeah.
And he had all these cases.
800 chicken fried steaks.
800. And just him and I. And we were dipping them in tofu back into the flour batter.
Right, right.
And
I just did an episode with that.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh, you know, tofu can be used for so
I can put it right
many
after
things.
this segment, maybe. I'll have to go through my edits and see what I can do.
Yeah, that would be great.
Yeah, it's just chicken fried steaks. You got your flour. You go into tofu and soy milk or almond milk to thin it down a little bit. And that's your second, and then into your breadcrumbs, and you're good to go. Yeah.
Oh, those things.
800 of those. You remember that?
Oh,
I just did
crazy.
250 of them a couple weeks ago for another event.
Oh, and let me tell you what, folks. When this comes up, that segment to watch the chicken fried steaks, you're not going to believe them. They look and they taste just like it.
Probably one of my most popular recipes of anything I've ever done is the chicken fried steaks. That and the vegan ribs and things. You're getting more texts from people. You're calling the number on the screen. This is what happens.
You know, it's you guys out there letting people. What is the difference between quick oats, regular oats, steel cut oats, etc.?
Okay. You want this one or?
Well, let me tell you what. When an oat is harvest, it is a groat. an oat groat, and it looks a little different than barley and rice, but it's in that state. It's very hard, and it's not flattened completely down yet. Whenever they make steel cut oats, that's where they take that oat and they cut it.
Right.
And I think it's like in fours or something like that, but they're in little pieces. Then the next is to flatten the oat out to have the oat, and then flatten it even more is your quick oats.
Right, so rolled and quick. Yeah.
Rolled and quick. So you're going from a natural state to steel cut and then flattened, rolled, and they're just a little different of processing. Yeah. I prefer steel cut oats because, Mark, I love that chewiness when I do my oats.
Right.
I don't like mushy food, period. I just barely steam my broccoli. I like bright green chewy broccoli. And I love it that way. Somebody who might be a little older and they just like to swallow and not chew so much, they might do the quick oats. But I prefer the steel cut oats.
Why is it that when you have quick oats, you're hungry in no time at all, but if you eat the steel cut oats, it carries with you throughout the day? Why is that?
Because it's not processed.
Yeah.
You're getting the least amount of processed. You're chewing. You're getting all that fiber and that is filling in your stomach, where the quick oats, I mean, to me, it's just like liquid going through my body,
right,
and I'm starved to death 30 minutes after I do something like that.
Yeah, so stick with the whole foods.
Stick with the whole
more than anything.
And that's the key, processing.
Oh, and there's another thing too. If you do not know about this, there is a quick steel cut oats out there now.
Really?
And a lot of people don't know about this. It's quick steel cut oats. There's a couple brands, and even Quaker has one now.
So is it like
the
parboiled rice?
The containers look almost exactly the same in the grocery store. So, you got to take a good look at them. But yeah, it's quick steel cut oats. You can cook them in 5 minutes, 2 minutes, they're done. You know how I do my quick oats?
Yes.
And just put boiling water in there, it's done.
And
you
let
can do
them
that
set.
with the quick steel cut oats.
Well,
so you don't have to cook them for 20, 30 minutes.
I'll tell you something, folks.
Yeah.
I don't use high heat for anything. So even in the morning when I'm in a hurry, if I need to leave the house or I have an appointment, I will go down, start my water, put my steel cut oats in there, and I bring it up to a boil. I put
Leave
that
the
lid on it,
right.
I shut it off, and I let it sit there and in that heat and steep, just like I would a tea like. And when I come back 30 minutes later, it's perfect.
If it's still there. Sometimes I get up in the morning and I'm like, oh, oatmeal. All ready for me. Thanks, honey. I really appreciate that.
Yeah.
And then she comes down and says, where's my oatmeal? And I was like, oh, I thought my wife Brenda made that for me.
I am most all the time. You guys are probably thinking, what is she coming down for?
Yeah.
But I am here a lot. Mark and Brenda's home is my home.
And that's
it's
our
my
studio.
Home base.
We have a home studio. So.
Yeah, so I'm always here except for when we're on the road. And we film.
Yeah.
We film, what do we have a year? We have to have over 52 segments a year that we film,
Well,
Mark.
yeah,
140 segments
counting the half-hour ones, yeah.
So that's why
52 of just the 1 hour programs, but yeah, we've got the half-hour ones
we're
too.
We're here a lot.
Yeah.
Filming.
And see, here's the thing. We're, as a ministry, we want to save every nickel we can. So we did this at our home, and we've got a good size, facility to do it in.
Beautiful studio.
But we're actually outgrowing where we're at. And so we're actually looking for a bigger facility that has maybe a couple big pole barns that we can use. So,
and folks,
we're going to outgrow this place in no time.
We are, and what we're hoping is that due to your contributions, that you want to see more filming from Mark and I, and more episodes, different things, just like I think it's back here, Mark, your baby steps, your new DVD series. I mean, more cookbooks that we want to put out. We need that time at home, but the reason why we are on the road as much as we are is because we have to have that cash flow. That's our way of making money in order to do what we do now. So.
You know what?
What?
We have not even been in the kitchen yet.
We gotta go to the kitchen. Maybe we'll do a quick kitchen
I see the person over here going like this to us.
Yeah. Oh yes. I hadn't even paid any attention.
All right,
okay.
let's get in the kitchen and we'll come back for more. Hi, Mark Anthony here to show you how to make seasoned breadcrumbs. And it's so easy to do. All you have to do is take your leftover pieces of bread, dry them out, and then put them in a food processor. And I'm going to add some secret ingredients here. I'm doing some
Italian seasoning, basil, and oregano. And you can use thyme, and there's so many different flavors that you can do. Of course, I always add some onion and garlic because that really enhances the flavor of your seasoned breadcrumbs. And right here, we actually have a butter flavoring that is an all vegan butter flavoring that we've got at an Amish place over in Ohio, of all places. And so that's all you have to do. You just put that in there, and then we're going to give this baby a blend. Once I get this baby hooked up here, and 1, 2, 3. It only takes a little bit of time. If it stops a little bit, I'll pulse it until everything's incorporated the way it's supposed to. Just like that. And you can kind of see where pieces get caught up, and that's why you want to stop it and then pulse it again. And just like that, it is that easy to make seasoned breadcrumbs. And let me tell you, it might get a little dusting around, but it's a real easy clean for you. So, and whoo, you should smell the aroma from those seasonings that I put in there. Ah, yes, wonderful. But that easy, and you've got your seasoned breadcrumbs. Now, you don't have to put the seasoning in there. You could actually just do plain breadcrumbs and then season them for whatever particular needs you're going to have. I use a lot of the seasoned breadcrumbs, so that's what I do. And then I put them in baggies like this, date them, and then fill it up, and then try to squeeze as much air out of it as I can when I'm storing them. And I'll tell you, probably a good year, and you'll have this fine. You can also freeze them too. But the problem with the freezer is sometimes you get moisture in them, so you'll have to use them right away. You can't freeze them and then thaw them out and freeze them and thaw them out and things like that. So, but it does work that way. So, all right, that easy to make seasoned breadcrumbs. This is Mark Anthony telling you to have a great day. Hey everybody, we're back in the office desk where I do a lot of my homework, and I really show you the intelligent part of living healthy, the intelligent part of what's going on in society, and really try to bring light to a lot of the deceptions that are going on in society. And let me tell you, today I wanted to go over some things about type 2 diabetes, even type 1 diabetes, because it is becoming an epidemic problem. And I want to share with you right here, this is from Forbes magazine, and it's actually from the Journal of American Medical Association, where nearly 50% of the population is either diabetic or pre-diabetic. Half the population, let me tell you, half the population in the country is either diabetic or pre-diabetic. And that is at epidemic proportions. And let me tell you, there is no reason whatsoever for anybody to be a type 2 diabetic. Type 1 diabetics is even very controllable if you're eating the right foods, and with a little bit of exercise, that always helps too. And I just got to share with you, I'm speaking from experience here, okay? So I'm actually, these are some of my blood tests over the years, and I was actually at 106 on my glucose levels, which is in the high zone, into that pre-diabetic state. And I've dropped my glucose down to 80, 88, 83, now down to 80. And so I'm really in the complete safe range of being a type 2 diabetic. And all because of my diet change, not really the exercise. I've exercised here and there, but not like I should. I live such a busy life getting you all this information that you need. But let me tell you, there is no reason why anybody should ever be a type 2 diabetic, and as long as you're eating the right foods. Now let me share with you another thing here we've got. I want to take this over. I actually did go to the Journal of American Medical Association here and looked at the actual article. Let me tell you, take a look at this. This article has some serious information in it. You're talking abstract here, where they got the information, the introduction, the methods, the research, the data collection, the results, and the list goes on and on and on. Look at this. I'm just going through this very quickly, but you can go right to the Journal of American Medical Association and look at all this. Then you've got the discussions and the conclusions and the article information and the references. Look at that. They've got literally 23 references as well. So really they did quite the in-depth study here with this realization that basically 50% of the population is now either diabetic or pre-diabetic. And let me tell you, it's getting worse and worse and worse. Now, I want to point out one thing here. This is from the WebMD, and which sometimes WebMD has some good things, other times they just don't. And this is one of the times that they just don't. And let me just share this right here for you. Is there a cure for type 2 diabetes? There is no known cure for type 2 diabetes, but it can be controlled. And in some cases, it goes into remission. That has got to be the most bizarre statement I've ever heard, because type 2 diabetes is reversible. And there are thousands of cases all over the world where you eliminate type 2 diabetes. And so these people just don't know the information that I'm going to share with you. There are so many doctors out there, and don't take my word for it, there are so many doctors out there that know how to reverse type 2 diabetes, how to eliminate type 2 diabetes, and I'm a true believer in prevention. You know, most people don't even worry or think about it until they have it. Where if people would just live a healthier lifestyle by eating the right foods, they would never have type 2 diabetes in the first place. But we're in a society that is getting bombarded by the most unhealthy foods you can ever imagine. It's indoctrinated into all of our processed foods, into our brains of thinking how we're supposed to eat throughout the day, what we're supposed to eat throughout the day, and every bit of that is designed, I'm not saying by humans, but definitely by Satan, to get people unhealthy. And I will show you an easier, healthier, more intelligent way to eat, and you will never have to deal with diabetes problems again. So let's go to a quick clip, and then we'll come back and show you what you can do to eliminate and reverse type 2 diabetes. Hey, Mark Anthony here to show you the intelligent way to do your breading. And let me tell you, has this ever happened to you where you have clumps of breading all over your hands? Well, I'm going to show you the way to do it without the mess. And let me take these gloves off. I'm not going to need those. Actually, it's a good idea if you want to wear gloves, but I'm going to show you how to keep both hands clean and do your breading. You have to have a wet hand and a dry hand. So this is going to be my wet hand that I pick up the wet meat, or in this case I'm using vegan chicken fried steaks. And then this is my dry hand that I'm going to actually pick up the chicken fried steak out of the flour and put it into my soy milk mixture. And then I take my wet hand to pick it up out of here and put it in the breadcrumbs. And then I take my dry hand to do the breading over here. And just like that, you've got your chicken fried steak. Once again, I'm going to take my wet hand, goes in there, my dry hand is going to pick it up, put it in there, my wet hand is going to pick it up out of my soy milk, and tofu is actually what that is. And then my dry hand is going to do the breading. And let me tell you, I have been doing this for over 30 years this way. And out of all the years that I have been to different restaurants and dealt with executive chefs of every sort, I have never found anybody that knew how to do it the intelligent way. I've taught a lot of people this, and it's just the intelligent, easy way to do breading. Because I'll tell you what, in the restaurants and things, or you're at home and the phone rings all of a sudden, and look at this, all you have to do is take a towel, you can wipe off real quick, and you're pretty much good to go. So that is the fast, easy way to do intelligent breading. A wet hand, a dry hand, and you just always keep your hands separate. And if you want, we're going to show you a recipe. You'll have to click on my recipe for chicken fried steaks, because this is what they're going to look like when they're done. The best, this is probably my most popular recipe of any of them, is an all-vegan chicken fried steak, and nobody knows the difference. So take a look, click over to the chicken fried steak recipe. This is the intelligent way to do breading, and we will see you next time in the kitchen. All right, we're back and we're talking about type 2 diabetes here and how it can be eliminated, it can be reversed, and it can be prevented. There is no reason whatsoever for anybody to ever be a type 2 diabetes. And we just talked about, this is the Mayo Clinic, this is WebMD, I'm sorry, this is WebMD. Looks like a little ad for Mayo Clinic, but their question here, is there a cure for type 2 diabetes? And their statement is there is no known cure for type 2 diabetes, but it can be controlled, and in some cases it goes into remission. And I'm like, these people just do not know. Are they that indoctrinated by let's give the person a pill that they don't know that there's cures for type 2 diabetes out there? Let me tell you, I will show you some type 2 diabetes cures. This right here is Dr. Furman. And Dr. Furman has 5 best foods for preventing or reversing diabetes. So here's another doctor that knows that type 2 diabetes can be reversed. And he's got on his green vegetables, non-starchy vegetables, starchy vegetables too, by the way, beans, nuts and seeds, and fresh fruit. So there are foods that you can eat to help diabetes, and it's all about plant-strong diabetes. And the best book you're ever going to get, though, by far the best book that you're ever going to get, is Dr. Neil Bernard's program for reversing diabetes. If you're a type 2 or pre-diabetic, this is the book to get. Dr. Neil Bernard's program for reversing diabetes. Now let me give you the education about type 2 diabetes. Most doctors, and I'm talking 95%, 98% of the doctors, actually have been trained and indoctrinated to believe that type 2 diabetes is a carb problem or a sugar problem. It's not. It's a fat problem. And if you eliminate the fats out of your diet, you will eliminate type 2 diabetes. It's just that way. Now, the first thing you want to do is go on a plant-strong, all-vegan lifestyle. Eliminate those fats that are in all those meats and cheeses and milks and dairy products and animal products. Then you also eliminate those oils. Get rid of the olive oil and the vegetable oil and the coconut oil and the flaxseed oil, and the list goes on and on and on. Those refined processed oils is a major problem. Now let me tell you how this works. Think of it as a door that opens and closes. Every one of our cells has doors that open and close. Now if you have a door that has a blockage on it, what are you going to do? Are you going to try to force the door shut and force the door open? Or are you just going to move the blockage so that the door will open and close? Well, what mainstream doctors are doing is let's hit it with insulin so that the doors will open and close, and then just eliminate the sugar. And then you'll be able to control type 2 diabetes. But if you would just remove the blockage, which is the oil, then your whole body, all your cells are functioning right. You don't need the insulin. You can eat sugar and all these other foods because your cells are functioning properly. And that's the key. That's the ticket to reversing type 2 diabetes. And there are many, many doctors, including Neil Bernard, who says there is no reason why anybody should ever be a type 2 diabetic, and it can be reversed in a matter of a couple weeks. Not a couple months, not a couple years, in a matter of weeks. And let me tell you, even overweight people, excessively overweight, that are 100 pounds or more overweight, can still reverse type 2 diabetes by eliminating those fats and oils in their diet. And so this is the book you want, Neil Bernard. And don't take my word for it, okay? I'm not a doctor. I'm just intelligent enough to do my homework and listen and learn from the people who really know their business. That's my job. I filter. God has given me discernment so I can really go through and find out, and study beyond what people are saying. I study beyond what this man is saying and did homework to know that he is, the real deal. So Dr. Neil Bernard, that's a good one. Here's another one for you here. Forks over knives. I think a lot of you have heard about the movie Forks Over Knives. There's actually testimonies on here how I reversed my diabetes and stopped all medications with a plant-based diet. And that's the way it goes, but you also have to reduce that oil. So that's another one. And even another one, Dr. McDougall. You got to get to Dr. McDougall's website. Right here on the top, you can sign up for his free newsletter. And so you want to definitely do that. Sign up for that free newsletter because he'll send you lots of information, lots of intelligent webinars that you can attend on a regular basis. And a lot of it's free. And you will really get the knowledge of how to live a healthier life. And let me tell you, it doesn't take a lot. It's just a matter of taking those steps. And eventually you'll get there. And let me tell you, it took me, 6 years to go from a 106 down to an 80. And I just talked to my doctor yesterday, and my blood tests, I haven't printed those up yet, but it's just perfect. Even being a little bit overweight, like I still am, my blood sugar levels are perfect. And because I eat a plant-strong lifestyle, and I don't consume all those oils, I don't eat fried foods, I don't add oils to my salads, I stick with water-based flavorings to do salads and things like that. So you eliminate those oils, you are literally going to eliminate type 2 diabetes. Unlike this website here with WebMD that says you can't eliminate it, you can't reverse it, but you can control it. Here, allow us to sell you a pill and put you on medication for the rest of your life. That's what these organizations want. They don't want prevention. They don't want reversal. They want it to be controllable so you will still purchase the products. And that's just the way it is. And these people, if they would pay attention to these dozens, literally hundreds of other doctors who know that you can reverse type 2 diabetes, maybe they would change their tune a little bit too. But some people, they just want to stay with that stubbornness instead of listening to what the Bible says. And the Bible says, come, let us reason together. Let's look at all the possibilities. Let's look at the world and see what's working and what's not working. And the bottom line is what we're doing in America here is not working. I mean, look at this world we live in. We have the highest rates of type 2 diabetes of any country on the planet. And it's all because of lifestyle, diet, and exercise, but mostly diet. And so you eliminate those diets and you're going to live a healthier, more vibrant life. Anyway, I've got to go. Time is ticking. And we will see you next time. Be blessed. Hi, Mark Anthony here to show you how easy it is to make my chicken fried steaks. And let me tell you, I've got 2 cups of water right here with just a tablespoon of that Better Than Bouillon. Which is really great product, Better Than Bouillon, no beef base. And give that a little stir. Also, we can do some Bragg's liquid aminos, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tablespoons, just like that. You can tell I'm measuring everything exactly today. Some of this is a science. Some of my recipes, I just throw them together, but this one is actually a science because you're gonna have to have 1.5 cups of Vital wheat gluten flour and then a 1/2 cup of the rice flour. And you just have to have that rice flour in there to maintain the moisture. It's just an absolute necessity. We will do a couple tablespoons of garlic, a couple tablespoons of onion. I'll tell you, this is such an easy recipe to do. And I do like to give this a stir just because otherwise when you put this water in there, sometimes the gluten will grip together and give you a real tough part of the chicken fried steak, which can be good, but we'll just get this all blended together here. And you want to blend this, just get the whole thing stirred up and watch how fast it comes together. I tell you, I've done this recipe at camp meetings for hundreds of people, and nobody has ever known that it is not an actual chicken fried steak. It is that perfect of a comparison between a chicken fried steak and this baby. So, okay, give that baby a stir just like this. Okay. Then we're just gonna pan this baby up. And what I like to do with this, I really like to actually just put it in 6 different even balls so I know what I'm doing here. And that way I'll be consistent with it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, there we go. And this one's a little big, so I'll move a little bit over to there and a little bit over to there. Try to get them both, you know, kind of consistently the same size-wise. Works pretty good. And then we're just gonna press these out a little bit. They're a little wet, but you need it that way. And let me tell you, don't make these things perfectly round. Make some little indentations on it and things like that. That way it'll look more like a natural, real type of chicken fried steak and not something that was processed. Okay, and then this baby's gonna go in the oven, usually for about 15 minutes, 10 minutes, 5 minutes, depends how your oven is. And after about 10 minutes, at least on this one I flip them over. So you cook them for about 10 minutes on one side, you flip them over, cook them for another 10 minutes on the other side, and then they're good to go. And see this, how it's really kind of flexible, and if I break one open for you, you can kind of see that there's a lot of moisture. It's dry on the outside, but on the inside it's very wet and moist, and that's what you're looking for. Now, what we're gonna do with this is do a breading. I've got my breading station right here. I'm not gonna do a breading today for you, but there is a class on my YouTube channel about how to do breading and how to do it with keeping your hands clean and everything. So you definitely wanna watch that. But do your breading, you get it together like that, and then just pan fry it. Just do a little pan frying with a little bit of vegetable oil, olive oil, whatever you wanna use. And when they're done, voila, look at those babies. That is the most gorgeous, tasty chicken fried steak, and it's all vegan. Nobody would know the difference. Make this for some people. Do double batches, triple batches, because these are very, very good for freezing. They really hold up well in the freezer to pull them out and have them ready in minutes. So there you go. Chicken fried steaks, fast, easy, and absolutely delicious. You're gonna love this one, and we'll see you next time in the kitchen. Hey everybody, just wanted to share with you a little secret on what to buy and where to buy it when it comes to some pans and equipment in the kitchen. And one thing you want to buy is get yourself a big bowl. I'm telling you, these things are so, I think I got this for under 10 bucks, and these big bowls will come in so handy for you. Costco, Sam's Clubs, places like that, there's a lot of restaurant supply companies that have these particular things. But you got to get yourself a big, big bowl, and it will come in so handy, especially for big batches and families. Another thing you want to buy is a couple of these pans like this, and you can tell this one's been used quite a bit. This is just a commercial pan, and I think there was like 2 for 10 bucks. It's just a basic aluminum, pretty heavy duty pan. And these things will last for years. You can use them in so many different ways. They just come in so handy. So make yourself, get a couple of these. They'll work really good for you. And then another buy that you want to get is right here. This is a hotel pan. You'll hear it called a duck pan, a hotel pan. And these things, they're going to run about $10, $20. It's a stainless steel hotel pan. And this will come in so handy for so many things. And there's different sizes, of course. You have, and let me share with you how these sizes actually work, since I'm thinking about it. This is a 2-inch pan, this is a 4-inch pan, this is a 6-inch pan. Now technically in the restaurant field, this is going to be called a full 200. Now this is a 1/3 pan because you could actually fit 3 of these in here. So this is a 1/3 pan, and it will be called a 1/3 400. This would be called a 1/3 600. Now these might not be ones you can use. This one, there's a half pan too. There's a half pan that really comes in handy for home use. But if you get a couple of these, let me tell you, they will last you for years and years and years. Restaurant supply companies, they have them, the price is right, and you are going to get your money's worth, and you're going to be cooking like a professional at home. So that's what you need. Get yourself some good hotel pans. The 200 is the best, I think. Get yourself a couple sheet pans and get yourself a couple good bowls because this will really, really help you cook easier in the kitchen. We'll see you next time. Hey, Mark Anthony here, and I like sharing some success stories with you now and then. And I thought I'd just share with you a little success about my brother. I talked about him once in a while. Now, the guy used to be about 450 pounds. He had a cholesterol level of 1,000 and had a heart attack. Went in the hospital, and let me tell you, the next morning for breakfast, they gave him bacon and eggs. 3 times they gave him bacon and eggs in the hospital. This is a cardiac patient giving him bacon and eggs, and let me tell you, I went up and saw him. I was there for 3 weeks, put him on an all-vegan lifestyle for 3 weeks, and let me tell you, when I got there, the color of his skin was white. You could smack it and get no reaction to it. His eyes were all cloudy, just, back pains. I didn't know if he'd make it through the 3 weeks. He had a cholesterol level of 900, and in 3 weeks, going all vegan with no statins, his cholesterol went from 900 down to 300. And he's like, I can't believe this. And I mean, his back was feeling better. He had a little more energy. He had color back in his skin. His eyes were clearing up. They weren't all that gray, cloudy. And so he was really, really surprised. Now, I did some things for him. I remodeled his refrigerator, turned it into a salad bar. I remodeled his cupboards, created some oatmeal stations for him and things like that. And if you go to my YouTube channel, I show you exactly how to remodel your refrigerators and kitchens and things. But now I just wanted to give you an update because it's been about 2 years later now, and he has lost over 100 pounds, and he's got his cholesterol down to 170. So I mean, that's good. I mean, he's still got a ways to go. I mean, he's still got he could still lose 100 pounds. I mean, literally. But he's doing good. He's just step by step. He's walking every day. Before, he couldn't even walk to the parking lot without taking 2 or 3 breaks. I mean, he was just that out of shape. And now he's doing walking every day and hits the health club after work with a bunch of friends. And so that's what it takes, those baby steps. Keep taking those steps. Find your success and fuel off of those successes. Don't let the rest of the society bring you down because you're overweight, because you're unhealthy, all these kind of things. Let's let ourselves be lifted up, by the Lord because of our success. That's what we want to do. We want to receive, direction. And when we see that success, that's what needs to motivate us. Everybody's always going to be negative. And if you let all that negativity, just bring you down, you're never going to lose weight. We've talked about that before, but, just keep taking those steps. My brother's doing fantastic, and so can you. So we'll see you next time. Be blessed. Hey, Mark Anthony here to show you a real quick way to kick up your chicken fried steaks by a serious notch. And let me tell you, what I've got here is I've got just some roasted black bean and garlic tortilla chips. You can use any kind of tortilla chips you want. This is where my brain thinks. It's like, what do I do with all these leftover little crumbs that are at the end of the bag? So I save them. I actually grab other bags. You can use corn chips, So many different things you can use. And use that for your breading. You can flavor it. Of course, the black bean ones are flavored very well. But then, I'm going to kick it up a notch. I'm going to take away my soy milk and tofu that I normally use and replace it with some blended fire roasted tomatoes. And so it's so easy to do because all you're going to do is your same breading process that you did before, except you're going to dredge it with the tomato instead of the tofu, and then top it with your breadcrumbs. And this is giving you a nice, fun Southwest. You can spice it up, you can kick it up in so many different notches. And let me tell you, this is what they look like when they come out. And they're absolutely breathtakingly beautiful. And crunchy, yet meaty on the inside. But you'll have to go on my website to get the recipe for those chicken fried steaks, because that is the best chicken fried steak you could possibly have. So Mark Anthony, we'll see you next time in the kitchen. Who are we? Where are we? Why are we here?
Mark and Melody in the kitchen. That's why we're here.
That's the who, what, yeah,
Who,
when,
what,
where,
when,
why.
where.
Why are we here?
We are here because we are bringing you some holiday cookies. And this
Yeah.
one here is my frosted maple pecan cookie. I
You know,
love
I'm a cookie-
maple.
I'm a cookie monster.
I
like cookies.
Well, that sounded too real. But I like cookies for the holidays. Number one, it's something the family can do together. Kids can help
Yeah.
their moms, and dads even just put it all out on the countertop, grab your recipes, and go to town. And I love maple. I love anything pecan, maple-ish. I
Okay.
love that. That reminds me of the old Christmas, old world Christmas.
Yeah, traditional.
It is. So I'm going to have you empty out the, is this spoon too small? You've probably got a bigger one over
I
there.
got
where
that
you're
one.
at. Yeah. There you go. And the margarine. And I actually put, this calls for maple flavoring and maple syrup, and it's all in here together.
Okay, so brown sugar, a little bit of the vegan margarine,
Yeah, that's the earth balance.
which most margarines are vegan anyway, but this one I think is the non-hydrogenated.
It is. It is. And they have soy-free, so they have a soy one. They have organic. They're not bad at all.
Am I using this? I'm supposed to
No,
use a blender,
I want you
aren't
to
I?
use a blender. I want this real creamy, and I kind of want it fluffy a little bit, okay?
Okay,
And if you'll notice, there's no egg replacer.
okay. Am I doing this?
Yeah, just on
Okay.
the first one, probably. Oh, yeah. Looks good.
Okay.
It just warms my heart to see a man in the kitchen. Dates, you know, I grew up with my dad in the kitchen. My dad was a chef. My mother was a great cook too, so it was all in the family.
Okay, now I'm on the spoon, so.
You are. And
Whoa, you got something on the top of that.
that was my salt.
Oh, okay, so you got oats
I
and
was
salt.
cheap. A lot.
I saw that little bit on the top. I was like, what did you? Because sometimes she'll try to do some little secret thing, and then
No.
later on she tries to get something past me. I was like,
No, but I didn't want to have another dish, so I was just lazy. You know, I count all my steps in a day's time. I had over 23,000 steps yesterday, Mark.
wow.
And I'm going to give you about half those pecans because I want some for the top of our cookie.
You probably got 5,000 or 10,000 steps, and we haven't even hit the health club yet.
No,
Okay,
but that's
so-
okay. We got time to go. And I like to do my flour a little bit at a time because I would rather it be on the wet side is the dry side.
Yeah. Otherwise, it might get clumps of flour too. I'm
can.
pressing when I'm doing this now.
I noticed that.
Because it really blends it in.
And you know the oats are going to continually
Absorb.
absorb.
Yeah.
Just like rice, it's going to absorb.
What do you think?
Yeah, I want a little bit more flour.
Boy, who needs a health club when you're doing cooking in the kitchen like we do?
That's right.
How many steps do you do, like if we do a day show here?
Just in the show, not counting if I walk or anything, probably 15,000. Because we're back and forth, we're cook.
From the studio kitchen to the prep kitchen?
To the prep kitchen.
Yeah.
I mean, we've got 2 kitchens that we work out of, prepping and cooking, and so yeah.
Okay, feels good.
Does it feel
Let you
good?
feel it and see what you think.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And that's what you want, is something that
I do.
it'll fall apart, but it's still.
Yeah. Okay, what I want to do here, Mark, is either by hand or with the scoop.
Send that way. Okay.
We are going to.
And you're really pressing that scoop on there.
I am, but I'm going to
you
have
want
you
it
press
tight.
these together. And this feels just a little dry to me, just a little. That's okay. That's okay. Now we're going to push those down. This makes about a dozen. Oh, you're going to love this recipe.
What's the concept with these? Are these going to spread out, or?
They are not a lot. Not a lot.
Is that a gluten-free flour, did you say? Or
This
no?
is not a gluten-free flour, but you know I didn't use any gluten-free flour because I didn't want to taste them. I did it on purpose because I still have 24, maybe 23 pounds to my goal weight. So I'm trying really hard, Mark, not to eat anything.
I'll tell you, this lady.
I'm
Right.
dedicated.
She has lost probably 20 pounds the last few weeks.
5 weeks.
And she's been like doing a 5 or 10 mile walk in the morning, then go hitting the health club in the middle of the afternoon, and then she does another 5 mile walk at night. So she's triple in order to get the weight off that you want to get off. And sometimes that's what you have to do. I haven't got to that extreme yet.
You know, Mark, it's just
which
that
is probably why I'm maintaining.
I've just been at that same weight, and I just couldn't get it off, and I couldn't get it off,
Yeah,
and I was
that's why I'm
traveling,
at.
I was eating out, and I said, no more. And so I have ramped it up to where it's like, okay, I've got to do something a little bit more extreme for my body to say, okay, I'm going to lose weight. And I did. I think I lost about 20 pounds in 5 weeks.
Oh, yeah, you can tell.
And it's because I totally went, boom, 100%, you know, I'm not going to fail. There's been a few days where I traveled and I couldn't get as much in as I wanted to, but I'm averaging over 50 miles a week right now, not counting the health club.
I just took
That's
some
great.
and
That's what I
added
want you to do.
Make it so it was balanced. But there you go.
And I like sometimes on these even, when you have a little fork, it kind of looks nice, just like on your sugar cookies. You know, I think that's really good.
Okay.
And I'm going to slip these in the oven, Mark, and we'll see what they look like here in about 14 minutes, and we're going to frost them.
Okay, 14 minutes.
Yeah, 12 to
350,
14 minutes.
375, what?
350, 375, depends on your oven. Just
Oven,
keep an eye
yeah.
on them because it could be a convection, it could be gas, it could be electric. The heat's all different.
Still want these a little soft on the inside
I
too?
do. I like my cookies soft. I don't like them on a crunchy side.
There you go. And we'll be right back to see the finished cookies. All right, it's been about, what, 14 minutes or 12 minutes?
It has.
So
Ready
they
for
should
cookies?
be looking pretty good, huh?
Ready for cookies?
Oh.
Do you smell that? You know, I hate smelling cookies in the oven because I just want to eat them all.
You need a hot pan here?
Yeah, just put a little bit underneath there. Hot, 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 hot. How do they feel,
Okay,
Mark?
they're soft in the middle.
Okay, that's
And
what
a
we
little
want.
bit firm on the bottom. Oh, look at that. See, they're still got some flexibility because they're
Good,
hot.
good, good.
And that's what you want. You don't want them overcooked.
No. And I'm going to make the frosting, which I've got my maple flavoring, my tofu sour cream, a little earth balanced margarine, and then, you know me, I'm going to just add a little bit of frosting at a time. Or
Okay.
the confectioner sugar.
Maple,
flavoring,
earth balance,
earth balance,
and
and
the powdered sugar.
tofu sour cream.
Oh, a little tofu sour cream.
Smell the maple. Taste that.
Man, does that taste like maple. You can put that on pancakes.
Oh, sure you could. Oh, pancakes, waffles.
That'd be a nice swirl for inside pancakes. Aha!
Oh, it would be.
You know, if you took your pancake and then you swirled that in there and then flipped it over on the grill, and you'd have these swirl marks on it.
You know what I did one time, Mark? My son seen something that was like a Cinnabon pancake.
Yeah.
And I made him vegan, gluten-free, without oil, Cinnabon pancakes.
Okay. Yeah, we used to do them in the restaurants, but we would have squeeze bottles of a mixture with brown sugar and molasses, and you do your pancake and then swirl that. So I'm not sure what you would do, but this is the way we create ideas, though, because we're coming in the kitchen doing one thing, and we're like, ooh, this would work for this recipe. So.
Mark, if you want to put some pecans on those.
Just a little sprinkle on the top.
Just a sprinkle.
I'm feeling a little nutty today.
You're nutty every day. It just depends on the day, what kind of a nut. But that's what I love about you, Mark. You have such a good attitude about you.
Hey, the way I look at it is what else is there to do until we go home, amen?
Amen.
So you might as well enjoy being here, and while it's still somewhat,
Sane.
you know, yeah,
A sane world. I don't know how sane this world is to live in, but we make the best of it. That's what's important.
Exactly.
Now, I could have made it easier on myself and made a lot of frosting, but I don't like
Leave one without.
Leave one
Yeah.
without. Okay.
I want to take a look at that without and see how that goes.
All right.
Okay. Boom.
There you go. It's great for the holidays. I love this as a fall cookie.
It's right. It's more of a richer, savory, warm, cozy with a little hot cocoa.
That says eat me.
And you want to look out the windows and see the snow coming
Oh
down.
no, we don't.
Let it
I want to
snow,
see the
let it
beach
snow.
with the sand and the shorts and the flip flops. That's what I want to see. I hate snow. In case anybody didn't know that, I don't like the
Doesn't
snow.
bother me a bit. So.
I don't like it. Anyway,
But
we're
that's
done.
perfect for a nice winter type of thing. So, all right, beautiful. And we will, I guess, see you next time in the
Yes.
kitchen. with
No
Mark and
telling
Melody.
what we're going to be cooking.
You never know. See you next time.
Hey, Mark Anthony here with the whole message, giving you the intelligent information that you need to live a healthier life. And let me talk a little bit about oil real quick here, because oil, it's a massive amount of consumption here in America of oil. In fact, here in America, the national average is over 10 pounds of oil per person per month. And that's just olive oil and vegetable oils, okay? That's not even counting the butters and things like that. 10 pounds per person per month. That is a ridiculous amount of oil. You know, we need to reduce the amount of oils that we're consuming. And in fact, we actually consume 41% of the world market here in America alone. So we are just getting way too much oil. And I know people think, oh, well, it's olive oil. It's good for you. It's coconut oil. It's good for you. It's not, okay? Those oils, maybe in moderation, might have some benefit, but the bottom line is oil activates the liver to produce more cholesterol, creating a negative environment in your body. And it doesn't matter if it's coconut oil and short chains, long chains. I've heard every excuse come up and be debunked later. Bottom line, it's 120 calories and 120 fat calories. So it's a weight gainer, plus it activates the liver to produce more cholesterol. So the bottom line is eliminate or reduce those oils. People that are type 2 diabetics, if you go all vegan, eliminating all those oils, within a couple weeks, you're completely off your meds. And this isn't coming from me. There's doctors out there, Dr. McDougall, Dr. Hans Deal, Dr. Neil Bernard, Caldwell Esselstyn. Go to these doctors' websites. They will tell you this information about how to reverse your type 2 diabetes. Joel Furman. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. Dr. Greger. I'll have my list on the website for you. But the bottom line is, oil is a problem. You eliminate the oils out of your life, get your natural fats from like avocados and nuts and things like that, and you're going to live a healthier, more vibrant life. And that's the whole message.
Just a reminder, the books are available on my website at chefmarkanthony.com. We've got my Vegan Simplicity book right here, which is available. We also have Simply Yummy, Melody Prettyman's really good cookbook. I have that available on the website. Of course, the Simply Incredible. This is a 400-page full color cookbook. And I mean, let me tell you, this baby is just gorgeous.
and gives you a lot of concepts about how to cook. So once you learn the concept, then you could run with a lot of different recipes. Plus, our newest addition is the Baby Steps to an Amazingly Healthier You. And this just came out this year. It's a brand new DVD, 12 parts. Look at this. This has actually 4 DVDs inside. It's a 12-part DVD and gives you a lot of really good insight about how to take baby steps to get healthy. Plus, you get a lot of good cooking segments in there too. So, Mark Anthony, we'll see you next time.
All right, wait, Melody's, she's got more people calling. I like this. We're gonna have to do this more often. This is kind of fun to be getting these Q&As that we don't even know, you know. And if we don't know the answer, we're gonna tell you, I don't know. I've done that quite a few times.
This person just wants to know my email address.
Yeah, and your social security number, and your PIN number, and can I get a retina scan and a thumbprint while I'm at it?
You know, Mark, I really love it when you viewers call us, when you text us, when you send us emails, when you send us letters.
Yeah.
You know, we use those. We want people to know the answers to your questions. If we don't know them, we're not going to give you just any answer. We're going to find the answer out.
That's what makes it fun. That's the way we learn. I mean, you know the way we learned everything? Just by continuing to, you know, like the Bible says, come let us reason together. And that's why we always want to continually be learning, not setting our own agendas in place, you know.
This person here just said, we need more vegan education. Me in particular, thank you.
Cool. Thank you.
So that was a comment.
Thank
you know,
you.
we appreciate that. I know we have to go. I think I was a little gabby in the earlier sessions. So
it's all right. We got the cooking done. So that's
we
the
did get
part.
the cooking done. But it's great having you guys with us each episode. Tell more people, send in your contributions, call, email, text us. You've got the numbers. So yeah, come back and see us next time.